I guess I don't do this type of content often because it's great for rants of somebody saying, I'm going to talk about this, these are my arguments. But personally, I don't have a lot to rant about. When I don't like something, I just don't engage in it. And it's very fun, very what was the word? Therapeutic to listen to other people speak or listen to other people rant about something. Because it reminds me of a conversation I had with a friend. And that conversation being, when we listen to somebody, we are wearing their mask. We're not thinking about what they're saying. We kind of put ourselves into that person's shoes for a while, as long as they say the right things. If they say something radically apart from your beliefs, then that's when you get out of that trance and you're like, wow, this is wild, right? Right. That, and I think that conversation was like came from that one Tyler the Creator video, not album, like Cornucopia, where I was vibing to a lot of it, a couple of songs, but I think it was that one track, Judge Judy, where it was just, from what I understand, a dude, Tyler had slept with a girl, and the girl killed herself, and at the end it was like, at least I didn't judge her. I'm like, nigga, what are you talking about? What? I just couldn't wear that mask. I couldn't wear that Tyler mask, you know? And I'm not really aware of that if I am that to other people, right? If people have the Masonymous mask as they listen to me, as I just talk about nonsense into this mic, hoping that would be a good conversation to fill that head of yours when you don't want to think about your own thoughts in your own world, right? I don't know if people will find this interesting. I don't know. And maybe I'm too busy worrying about that. Oh yeah, this is a live recording. If you're unaware, I'm drawing and doing the thing, something visually stimulating, as you listen, or you just want to put on in the background. Think of the visuals as a Subway Surfer gameplay, but less stimulating, less for Zoomers, right? And it also reminds me of, there was a when I was like learning about niches on YouTube. Turns out there's this niche called Doomercore or something like that, where guys would just say how they are they feel like they're stuck in a dead end in life, and they're like, oh man, I don't know what to do in my life. I got a job, I don't have my own apartment, yada yada yada, woody woody woo. And that, honestly, oddly enough, it resonates with people. And maybe I'm doing something similar to that, but instead of saying life is life is over, billions must die, you know, the Chud meme. It's more of me just trying to find my footing, my voice, as it were. And I think that was my main issue going on the internet, is that I don't have a voice. For the longest time, I felt like to be some sort of personality, you need to have a voice. And I didn't really want to see myself as a personality. I just wanted to see myself something similar to like a cartoonist that put their work on Cartoon Network, but I don't have the advertising budget power for people to see the work. So I would just like post my comics to an empty landscape. And sadly, and then I get surprised when people don't see it because I don't give people a reason to look at it, right? But everybody's finding their own struggles. Everybody's struggling with their own thing. I was thinking about maybe, I know this is a little bit too much of a tone shift, but moving on. But I've been on my journey of trying to find a way of my voice. I was thinking of maybe I can talk about things that happen to the video game industry or entertainment, because I make comics. Maybe I can talk about what's going on in comics. But then I realized I don't care that much about what goes on in comics. I do comics because I want to tell my story, right? That's weird. It's weird, right? But then I was thinking maybe I can just do something in politics, because when I'm not drawing, I listen to a lot of political podcasts. And I was thinking, wow, I really don't care that much about talking about it. I just have it on in the background. I don't feel like I am well versed in anything political, for example, to just go on the internet and just spit my mind. I think that's what makes Twitter so awful, is that everybody who has access to a platform, they think they can just use that platform to say whatever nonsense that they can espouse just because they have the means to do it. I guess I despise that the most about modern media, I suppose. Like, not just modern media, quote unquote. But it's a lot of nonsense. Just how people, I guess maybe I'm just jealous, right? People having the goal of saying what's on their mind. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, it really doesn't matter. But in a weird way, it matters to a lot of people, to the point that people listen. To the point where people get grifted because a figurehead is willing to speak about issues that they themselves, not they, but the audience themselves, don't feel like enough people are talking about. And it has this weird catharsis feeling of not feeling alone. Instead of acting upon those negative, wow, this perspective is awful, what am I doing? Sorry. This is live. Man, I gotta redo all that, huh? I gotta do that perspective. That's disgusting. I'll work on that later. I'm sorry, I broke that consciousness. I'll work on this. But as I was saying, people want to have their thoughts and feelings validated through somebody else. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing in of itself, but getting it off the internet is something that just feels unnatural. I remember I was having another conversation with the same friend, Matt. I'll just call it Matt. I only have like 2 friends, and Matt's one of them, right? If you're if you like me and you see me as a friend, don't feel sad. I don't use the word friend lightly, personally. I have acquaintances, I have people I'm cool with, and I have friends, right? And what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I was talking to Matt, and we were like looking over that one. What was that? The black shooter in whatever. Just because I said that, I'm probably gonna get this thing. I'm probably gonna have like the YouTube cops, crawling up and down my my search history or whatever. Right? But whatever. And I remember the conversation that we were having, and we were looking at this kid, and this kid was like a 17-year-old like black kid that's just spent too much time on the internet. And looking at his picture, I was like, dog, that could have been me, you know, right? Like, first I was thinking of like where's his parents? B, like he didn't seem too far from the type of kid that I would probably interact with. Like, say edgy jokes, talk about dark humor, internet memes, the whole 9 yards. But I think it's just worse. There's another saying that I have. It's that today is probably going to be today's not going to be the best day on the internet, but it's not going to get better tomorrow. The internet's not going to get better tomorrow. The internet's going to be increasingly worse. I guess that's the idea that I want to get across with that saying. But continuing on, I looked at the I remember telling Matt that there's something bad about getting catharsis on the internet, because there's something unspoken, but something really sacred about having your opinions validated with people within your own like facility, within your own like, what's the word? I don't want to say village, but it's like something close to the village, and close to your facility, in your circle, like 20-mile radius. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say nation, because nation's too broad, but like people in your backyard, right? Because when people feel that sort of kinship with somebody that's so far away, there's something that's lost. I feel like there's, how would I put it like this? Because you and that other person are sharing that connection, you guys share land, and with that land comes resources, and that resources comes experiences, shared experiences. And one nerd from, like, if I have like a friend that's from California, our experiences of being interested in the same thing are going to overlap a lot, but it's probably not going to be the same as a nerd within my own state. You know what I mean? Wait, why did I give him eyelashes? I'm not even thinking. I'm thinking too many things. Like, what was I doing? Oh wait, what was he doing? Do what you did with the cigarette again. Okay. So, with that being said, do you get what I'm saying? Drop a like in the chat if you get what I'm saying. But I think that what the internet's the curse of the internet is, I'm trying to draw this eyebrow hold up. Yeah, the curse of the internet is just not having that connection. Even though, like, not having an authentic connection. Like, internet friends, they are real in a sense of that's another person behind the screen. Like, but I guess with the rise of AI, that can change. That can change in a decade or 5 years, because how rapid, accelerating this whole internet thing is. Until, like, I guess the answer to all of it is people getting to a point where they're just willingly deciding to log off of the internet and wearing masks that are pretty much required to live in their own specific societies that they're in. Because we all wear masks, right? I don't think it's a bad thing. It's something that we have to be aware of. But I guess that's what I decided to rant about right now. I gotta get this hairline done. But another thing I wanted to talk about was this whole production process of the comic. Because one thing that I didn't like about the last chapter that I did, this is chapter 5, mind you, of Just a Reaper. link in the description down below to read it or buy it on Amazon, yada yada yada. Read it if you like the story. Buy it on Amazon to support Matt and I, me and Matt, whatever the grammar is anymore, because nobody cares about grammar anymore. But the way that I approached this last time was very slow. It was how would I put this, right? I would do the thumbnails traditionally, and the traditional thumbnails would look like what you're seeing right now. Like, give me a sec. The whole thing is recovering, saving. It would just look like this, and then after this stage of physically sketching out the thumbnail, I would sketch it again, but digitally, to have everything make sense within a digital space. And then after that, I would just do what you're seeing right now: the line art, the flattening, the lettering, the effects, the woody woo, all that stuff. And the problem that I came across with chapter 4, was that it took so long. It took like 2 months to finish the last 10 pages. That's what it felt like. It felt too long. But now I want to see, how can I shorten that length? To pause. How can I shorten the time that it took to create these chapters? Because I want to finish all of this before May. That's my goal. That's my personal goal. I haven't set a goal for myself in a while. And right now it's just finding the time for optimization. What can I do? And I think that's what everybody can learn from in a way. It's just how can I make this better? How can I do what I do best? But how can I improve? Like the Goku mindset. Be better than the person you were the day before. I know this is probably going to be like a schizo, like a tad schizo, because I'm dropping topic from topic, because this will be my last thing, and then I'll leave. I'll leave, right? And the one thing that, when I said Goku, it reminded me of a story of when I was chilling with my oldest brother. We were watching The Walking Dead, and we were just chilling, and he said, "Hey Mason, who would win in a fight? Goku or the Incredible Hulk?" And I was like, really? My oldest brother is asking me who would win in a fight between Goku and the Incredible Hulk. This is what probably every younger brother dreamed of. like it's a conversation about power scaling with your older brother. That's awesome. But other than that, I remember telling him that that one Stan Lee quote: who wins in a fight is whoever the artist wants to win, or the writer wants to win, right? And instead of saying that, because that's like a non-answer or whatever, right? But I said this, right? Instead of thinking of it of who could punch the boulder the hardest, think of it as every character is an idea, right? Every character embodies a certain idea. I kind of got this idea from this philosophy from not that philosopher that I said in the past video, but from playing that Like a Dragon. I'm pretty sure people who don't know Like a Dragon, then you know the Western name Yakuza. But if you follow Yakuza, then you know that they changed the name back to the Like a Dragon. But I digress. So anyway, the thing about the Like a Dragon game that I played, it was on the PSP, is called Kyohyu or something like that. And it has 2 games on the PSP. In the first game, it was about this one guy who was a punk. He didn't live for anything, and he got himself into some trouble, and now he's caught in a ring of trying to kill, not trying to kill. He's caught in a situation where he has to fight people in a ring to gain his freedom, right? In an underground what do they call it? Boxing tournament or MMA tournament, so he can earn his freedom. And one of the coolest things that I've learned about that game is looking at every time the protagonist defeats his opponent, he learns a little bit more about that character's philosophy of why they fight. And that gave me the idea of every character is the idea of a certain is the embodiment of a certain idea. That's what I'm trying to say, right? And I asked him, what is the idea of Goku? And he said, the idea of Goku is something along the lines of strength. Or I ask other people, and they say the idea of Goku is bettering oneself, being better, trying to be better today be better than the person you were yesterday. The version of you tomorrow is better than you today, and the version of you today is better than the person yesterday. If this is your first video, be patient with me. I'm still trying to do my public speaking thing. Thank you. All right. So I'm gonna mince my words a lot. No editing. I'm being a one take Drake right here. Forget what all the Drake got. Whatever. Anyway. And the idea of the Incredible Hulk is rage. So if you have the idea of self-improvement going up against the idea of rage, the idea of self-improvement is going to win every single time. Because if you tell a story where rage is way better, or it outperforms self-improvement, in the long run, that's not going to be a satisfying story, because it's not going to be a story where it resonates with people. Like, let's say we live in a world where it's true. Most people don't want that to be true. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't, because everybody wants to be, ideally, people want to be better. People want to aspire to be the person that they want to be. Because nobody is born perfect. Everybody wants to reach that idealized version of themselves. So the idea of being a crash out is like the best person that you can be is not gonna, it's wild. It's wild. So with that, I forgot what I was. That was the story. I was thinking, like, where am I going with this? But yeah, I just made my point. All right, yeah. So that's my rambles. Right now I'm working on Just a Reaper, chapter 5. Hopefully, the way that I'm doing this right now, it's going to be way better, way faster. I'm still debating on making this like one 40-page chapter or two 20-page chapters, and we'll see how this goes. I'll keep working on it. I'll keep y'all updated. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed before, and if you're up to this part, let's see what is a book. It can be a comic, it can be a manga, anything literary. What is the book that you would recommend everybody should read? And give me a single sentence why. Alright, that's your assignment. Whatever. Thanks for listening to my rants and rumbles and rants or whatever, and I hope you all have a good one. Peace.